Cheesecake's one of my favorite desserts to make because it's so easy to do. You just have to remember to make it a day ahead of time. Let's start by making the crust. Now the crust could be anything. Traditionally, it's graham crackers, and we're gonna put graham cracker crust on our cheesecake, but you could do stuffed cookies. It could be ginger snaps. We're gonna use graham crackers, and we're gonna make that crust in our food processor. So puree these graham crackers until they're nice and fine crumb. Now we're gonna drizzle in a little bit of melted butter, just to bring that crust together, and puree it one more time. Now, what you need for a cheesecake is a springform pan. A springform pan is really quite simple. It makes it easy to get the cheesecake out of the pan by having a clasp that ties the sides of the pan onto the bottom. So press the crumbs into the bottom of the pan. If you want the crust to come up the sides of the cheesecake a little bit, just push it up the sides of the pan. But get the complete bottom of the pan covered and push it down hard to a nice flat surface. And we're going to refrigerate this crust until our batter is ready to go. Okay, now we just need to give this food processor bowl a quick rinse, and we're going to make the batter. So the first key to making a cheesecake easily is to have the right equipment. The next thing is to have room temperature cream cheese. That is going to save you a world of headaches because you want that cream cheese to be smooth, and room temperature cream cheese is a lot easier to make smooth than refrigerated. So cream cheese in the food processor, and we're going to start to process it. Now we're going to add the sugar. The sugar is going to help puree that cream cheese and make it even smoother. But the key at this point is to make sure that all the lumps are out of the cream cheese before we start adding the eggs. Okay, once that is nice and smooth, we're going to add the eggs. We're going to add them one at a time, and we're going to beat it just to incorporate the eggs into the batter, not to get any air in there. Now, with the last egg in there, we're going to add a little bit of vanilla, wipe the sides down, and give it one more puree. This is where you would add some other flavors if you were going to add flavors, like lemon. If you wanted a lemon cheesecake, now's when you'd add a little lemon juice, some lemon zest. Okay, we've made our batter. That's how easy it is. Now we're going to take our cheesecake pan with the crust out of the fridge, and we're going to put our batter right into the pan. I'm going to give this a bang on the counter to get rid of any air bubbles that might have crept into there. And we're going to wrap this pan in foil. So the reason we put foil around the bottom of the pan is because we want it to be watertight. Remember, one of the keys to making sure a cheesecake has no crack in it is to transfer it to different temperatures gradually. We're going to do this in a water bath, which will be a more gentle way of cooking, so we want our pan to be watertight. So take your pan and put it into a larger vessel, like a roasting pan. So it's time to transfer this to the oven. I'm going to put the pan into the oven first, and then I'm going to add the water to the water bath. You want the water to come halfway up the outside of the cake pan, and the reason that I always add the water once the pan's in the oven is so I don't have to walk across the kitchen with a roasting pan, water, and a cheesecake. So it's been in the oven at 325 degrees for about an hour, and it's time to see how it's doing. Here's how you do that. Grab a wooden spoon, open the oven, pull the rack out a little bit, and tap that cheesecake pan with the spoon. What you're looking for is a jiggle. You don't want the cheesecake to be set at this point. You want to see that jiggle. It's going to firm up because now we're going to turn the oven off, let it sit in there for another hour, continuing to move our cheesecake from temperature to temperature gradually so we don't have a crack in the surface. So this has been sitting in the oven for an hour while the oven cools down. All we have to do now is bring it to room temperature, because remember, we're always moving that cheesecake from one temperature to another gradually. You don't want to put it into the fridge right away. Let it come to room temperature on the counter. Remove the aluminum foil, then wrap the entire cheesecake pan and everything in plastic wrap, put it in the refrigerator for 8 hours to chill properly. So this cheesecake has had time to cool in the refrigerator. We're going to just get it out of this cake pan now and put it onto the cake stand. See how beautiful a job we did. Now I'm using a hot butter knife just to run that around the side of the pan to make sure that cheesecake is loose. Quick quick tip on how to get the cake out of a springform pan. Use a wide bowl or a can of tomatoes and then simply unclasp the lid. Now you can remove that cake really easily. Leave it on the bottom part of the cake pan there and put it right onto your cake stand. Now let's take a look and see how we did. Look at this cheesecake. This is beautiful. There are no cracks in here at all. But what if there was? No problem, don't worry. All you need is a little compote. You can use jam, anything you like, and put that over the top as a beautiful, on purpose of course, garnish.